Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Still I Rise podcast. I'm your host, Lisa McKenzie, founder of Unite Empowering Events. I am so honored to be here today with you as we introduce you to some amazing everyday heroes who will be sharing their inspiring stories of how they persevered after a life-altering event. The stories that we are sharing come from a unique narrative therapy program we created called Storycrafting. It's a small group 6-week experience that challenges participants to revisit a time in their life when life changed. Yes, you will hear about their hardships, but you will also hear how these amazing individuals persevered and found silver linings. Many of our participants are nervous to share, and they know they're being vulnerable with you, but they each said that they wanted to share because it's their hope that maybe their stories will inspire others and help somebody else persevere also. I'm joined by my amazing co-host, Debbie Tongi, who is our program director, and we can't wait for you to meet our story crafters. Thank you for tuning in. Please share this podcast with others.
Hi, my name is Juliet Kirkland. I was diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic colorectal cancer at age 47. I have been through 26 rounds of radiation, 2 surgeries, and at last count, 40 rounds of chemotherapy. I would like to thank my amazing teams. I started at West Jefferson with Dr. Jimmy Ellis and the amazing nurses at West Jeff Cancer Center, especially Stacy. And I transferred to MD Anderson and Ochsner, and I have received exceptional care from them as well. I would like to thank my husband, Greg, the ringleader of this circus. I could not have done it without you. My kids, I love you. And my peeps, you know who you are. Y'all made cancer suck less. Throughout my journey, I personally learned how strong I really am. You don't know just how strong you are until you have no choice. And I would like to suggest to others just to hang in there, be your own advocate for your medical care, and lean on those who are there for you. My name is Juliet Kirkland, and this is my story.
Hi, everybody. I'm here with Juliet Kirkland. Hi, Juliet. How are you doing today?
I am doing well.
And thank you so much for being here. I wanted to let those who are listening know that you had shared with us that you are having some voice issues, and what was the reason for that?
This is a side effect of the chemotherapy. My voice comes and goes as it pleases.
Okay, so if we hear it kind of warble in and warble, we'll know how and why that's happening. We thank you so much for being part of the Unite program. Tell us how you found out about Unite.
I had a girlfriend from high school who participated in the runway program, and that's how I found out about it. She recommended it to me.
And so you tell us a little bit about your diagnosis. I know that you are stage 4 colorectal cancer with metastasis to your liver and lungs. Is that right?
That's right. At diagnosis, it was stage 4 metastatic. The metastasis had moved from my rectum to my liver, all on the right side of my liver. And then after my liver surgery, they found 2 nodules in my lungs, and that has since grown to 4 nodules.
And I know that you're a huge advocate for and very involved in the colorectal cancer community in terms of trying to spread awareness. What's the number one most important thing you could share with people when it comes to screenings and understanding that colorectal cancer and how it could be prevented?
The screening is much easier than the treatment. And so everyone who is of age has some stuff going on in their body needs to get screened. I promise you, it's not that bad. Treatment is rough.
And when you say treatment, what you mean is if you end up with a diagnosis of colorectal cancer that could have been avoided just from the inconvenience of a screening. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, we love that you are advocating, and anything that we as an organization or the individuals can do to spread awareness and information is so important to us. We deal with emotional healing, and when you entered our program in January of 2023, it is now June, we originally asked the question when you signed up, how would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being not feeling so great and 5 being feeling amazing? You, back in January, said you kind of were at an emotional level of 3. How would you say you feel today emotionally after being in our program since January?
I am much stronger emotionally, so I would say a 5. The Unite program has absolutely given me the outlet and the therapy that I never knew I needed, but I needed it.
Well, we thank you for being here.
Hi, Juliet. This is Deborah Tongi. I'm the program director here at Unite, and I have the honor of being able to talk to you about some of the programs that you participated in. I know that you have already participated in SCART, and how'd you feel about that?
At first, I was a little leery about having to put on canvas what my scar looked like, but I am so glad that I did it. It was a good outlet for me.
Yeah, art therapy is a really good way to process the pain and trauma of surgeries associated with cancer diagnoses. You've just completed your 6 weeks of storytelling, another component of the program. And one of the fun things that you get to do as part of the assignment is you really have to think about a challenge that you want to write about. Can you tell the audience what challenge you decided to write about?
The challenge I selected was my cancer journey and what it's been like living through the treatments, etc.
And that's very important because it teaches those who hear your story so much. Another part of the assignment process is you have to identify a metaphor or kind of like a symbol for that journey, that story that you're going to tell. Can you tell us what symbol you decided to choose?
My metaphor is the butterfly. I'm fascinated with butterflies and the transition from caterpillar into this gorgeous, winged creature that is created.
I know, we love that metaphor too. And so without further ado, here is Juliet, and she's going to be reading her story, Becoming the Butterfly.
We as humans have the power to fight with determination. We fight with treatments that are distributed throughout our bodies, much like the caterpillar goes through its metamorphosis. But we never give up. That beautiful butterfly will emerge just as we will defeat this disease. I am the middle child of 6 children. My mom is still working at the age of 83. She inspires me. I get my work ethic from her. My husband Greg and I will be married 28 years, and both will be 50 years old this year. Following my diagnosis, 50 seems so far away. We share 2 wonderful boys, Jeffrey and Matthew. While the kids were growing up, we always had adopted kids around, as well as my niece, Alyssa. My husband and I were lucky enough to take care of Alyssa throughout her high school years. She is my princess and the closest thing to a daughter that I have. In 2012, I was in a car accident where I sustained a neck injury. During an epidural injection following the accident, the physician nicked my spinal cord, leaving me with permanent injury to my left arm and hand. I follow a strict medication regimen through pain management and have come to terms with the pain this injury has left me in. I felt like I was finally learning to navigate life with this life-changing injury and gaining control of my life again. Boy, was I wrong. In late 2020, I shared with my husband and primary care physician that I wasn't feeling well. Ringing in the new year brought a blood transfusion and extensive testing, including a routine colonoscopy. On February 8th, 2021, I sent my husband off to work while my mother-in-law and I went to the colonoscopy appointment. Not having any real symptoms going on, you can imagine my surprise waking up to my mother-in-law saying Greg was on his way. My doctor explained to us that he had found a large 7-centimeter tumor that he was confident was cancer. Cancer? At that moment, time stood still. My diagnosis was confirmed the next day. I don't remember much about the next few weeks, except the unseasonably cold, rainy, bleak weather. I felt okay, other than being exhausted. After the diagnosis began the whirlwind of appointments, scans, more testing, and radiation. The feelings of numbness while preparing for chemotherapy, the thought of treatments and of the surgeries was brutal. I was overwhelmed and destroyed physically, mentally, and emotionally. How could this be happening? There is no history of colon cancer in my family, so I couldn't believe I was living this nightmare. I also remember thinking, will I make it to 50? Since my initial diagnosis, I've endured 26 rounds of radiation at 3 points on my pelvis, more than 40 rounds of chemotherapy, and 2 grueling invasive surgeries. As a stage 4 colon cancer survivor, I'm still in active treatment and will be for the rest of my life. My guiding light or motivation to keep going as I battle my way out of the darkness is my fighting spirit. I just keep thinking that I'm too young to die. I want so much in life. I have so much left to do. I want to see my children succeed in life. My husband and I, we've been through so much together. We're at a good place in our lives, and now he must go down this road with me. It's so unfair. Despite it all, I've continued to hold on to the 3 things in life that took on no meaning: faith, hope, and love.
Do that sentence again. You said no meaning.
Despite it all, I've continued to hold on to the 3 things in life that took on new meaning: faith, hope, and love. That butterfly tattoo has taken on a new meaning as well, and this time it's been the hardest transformation I've had to live. Becky Gilbert helped me to see what my beautiful butterfly tattoo represents in my cancer journey. Unite Empowering Events has also allowed me to transform in a way I never knew I needed. My biggest piece of wisdom is to be your own hero and trust the process, no matter how exhausting it is.
That is beautiful. And you are beautiful. And okay, so you mentioned Becky Gilbert. I just do have to ask, what did she tell you that gave it new meaning? You didn't say it in the story, but I'm so curious what she said.
She, when we were doing our photo shoot, she saw the tattoo on my shoulder, and she said, "That's it. That's a transformation for you. That is your transformation." And through the story crafting process, I went through probably 3 or 4 different metaphors as we were going through it. And it was then that I realized that was it. It's been there all along. I just didn't know it. I didn't see it. She saw it.